Hello and welcome back to another episode of Straight to the Point. This one's going to be a slightly longer one. I'm going to be doing this for the YouTube channel, so hello if you're watching. And I've decided that I'm going to be breaking down for you probably one of the most common questions that I get asked, and that is how to have a marketing strategy, how to develop a marketing strategy when you have zero ad budget. Now, marketing, especially if you look into all the different strategies that people talk about online right now, very much defaults to this kind of like pay to play market, like the Facebook ads, the Instagram ads, SEO, pay per click, all these different ways in which you can make money. Now, the issue that I had when I first started in my companies was the fact that I didn't have any money. Like I started with like quite a significant amount of debt, and I didn't have the funds or the finance that I was going to raise for this company because technically I didn't really know what I was doing. And this was back when I had my property business. It was very much like we are in this world where we have to go out there and raise finance. We have to raise our brand. We have to raise the awareness of what we're doing to be able to generate leads, to be able to generate opportunity. And I couldn't participate in these pay to play opportunities because I didn't even have credit cards like back then. I didn't have any limit on them anyway. So there was no way for me to be able to do it. So everything that we've done from the beginning 3 years ago through to now, there's been a little bit of pay to play. Now we've been able to really scale up. But for the first 2.5 years of me being in business, everything was based off the philosophies that I'm going to break down and the framework that I'm going to be breaking down for you inside this podcast, inside this video, wherever you're watching it. And it's in 5 specific stages. I've got different examples that I'm going to be talking to you about throughout, and how different people, whether it's me, another business that I've worked with, or potentially somebody that's on our academy, and how they've been able to develop the results that everybody's looking for when it comes to growing online businesses right now, right? So for me, it all really started when I just decided or made the decision that business was for me. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, as they're called, and I wanted to go out there and I wanted to start making money. That was my thing. I knew I was built for something big, but just had no idea what I was going to do it in. So I had to get, and this is the first step in the framework that I'm going to get straight into for you. I had to get completely clear on a specific skill that was going to have a perceived value in a market. Now, the key thing is here, I didn't actually know what that skill was going to be, and I had really no idea that it was going to be valuable to people. I was scrolling through YouTube videos, probably similar to what you're doing right here, looking for an opportunity in which I saw value and an opportunity which kind of sprung to mind of a business that I could scale. And property was that first one. I had an Airbnb business, which was my first company. And when I was building my brand up for that, this was back when I had around about 400 followers on Instagram. I didn't really use Facebook at all. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't have a podcast. I had nothing. I was starting completely from scratch. But I realized that nobody was really talking about property, and especially documenting their journey anyway on these platforms whatsoever. So I made a decision that throughout the growth of my property business, from day one through to the day that I ended up exiting the company, that I would talk about my journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, and really get clear on one, what I thought people would find valuable. So immediately putting my consumer, the person that's watching my content, to the forefront. And rather than just putting out like the stuff that I thought was going to be interesting, I went out there and asked people what they wanted. So key thing here is, no matter what position you're in, whether you're an experienced business owner or you're a startup, start to really identify what skill, what thing you can go out there and learn and really put into practice, and really identify the pain and the problem that you know that that particular skill can help address, and then the person that you're wanting to attract to your profile. This is so important. Like for me, this is where a lot of people make their mistake, is that they will go out there and they'll start creating content. They'll start wasting all of this time talking about stuff that nobody cares about. Like nobody cares about. You've probably been scrolling through social media at some point today, whenever you're watching this, And there's been stuff that you go past and you're like, why is this person even speaking about this stuff? What a pointless post. What a complete waste of energy. And I get it every single day. And that's how we generate a lot of our business, believe it or not. So whenever I see somebody that I believe is talented, they have a skill, they have a good message that they need to go out there and deliver, I will actually reach out to them, message them, and give them some ideas and where they can improve. And if you need any help about this, by the way, like if you want me to have a look at your profiles, you want me to dive a little bit deeper into what you do and see if there's a strategy that we can come up with, then please like this video, then drop a comment below with your username on Instagram and subscribe while you're at it. That would be awesome. And I will happily do a free review on your Instagram account, Facebook account, YouTube channel. I'm not an expert on YouTube whatsoever, by the way, but I'll happily do an audit for you just to showcase like where you can improve, because that's one of the things that we've become really, really good at, especially inside Grammication. Just really taking a look back and going, how can somebody get their message out in the most efficient and engaging way? And once you get really, really clear on that specific thing, so the first step in this framework, what I've been talking about probably for the last 5 minutes now, is clarity. Once you get completely clear on what you're trying to do, who you're trying to do it for, and the real pains and problems these people are experiencing, and you then create content in whatever format that is, because there's so many that I'm going to be talking to you about in this video, whatever format that is, you can start to generate the awareness, the attention, without having to spend a penny. To reiterate, I didn't spend any money on advertising to grow my Instagram following. I didn't spend on any money on pay-per-click to be able to get my brand to the position that it's in now. In any of the companies that I started, everything was done for free. And you can do the exact same thing, like the exact same journey that I've been on. You can go back and just look at all the content that we created and the way that we did it. There's different elements. It's not just about, especially in marketing strategy, it's not just about social media. A lot of people default to that, and it's not. It's getting clear on the actual customer journey that somebody that you're wanting to work with goes on. So from the position of they have no idea who you are, all the way through to being a raving fan of what you and your business does. Now, I specialize in service-based businesses. That's been where I've spent a lot of my time. So product-based businesses, I do a bit of work with, but I'm not an expert within that whatsoever. That is something which I haven't done enough on to be able to talk about it. But these tactics, these strategies, they would work in the exact same way. So step number one, get completely clear on what it is that you want to do. Find that skill, find that value offering that you can give, find the people that you're trying to help. And then make sure that anywhere that you're currently appearing online, especially like social media, so your accounts, whether it's personal brand or business brand, whatever you're doing, please, please, please make sure that it is 100% clear and obvious as to what it is that you do online, right? So whatever business, whatever skill, whatever position you're currently in, go and take a look at your online presence and ask yourself, is it 100% clear how I help someone? And is it 100% clear who it is that I'm looking to help? And the final question, is it 100% clear how they can get in contact, or at least the next steps to potentially working with you in your business? If that's not the case, then pause this video and go and do that piece of work. It's so, so important. I'm going to be giving you so many different exercises that you can go and do in this, but the first one is to get clear on what it is that you want to do, find out who it is that you're trying to target, and then make sure that your social media profiles, your websites, your landing pages, your funnels, anywhere where your business name or your personal name can appear, that it's really, really clear and obvious as to what you do. Once you've done that, and this is where things start to get really, really interesting, you can then move into step number 2, which is connect. So this is connecting with other people. This is about attracting people towards you, because you may find this already. I definitely do. The more that I go out there and try and get business, the harder it becomes to get. Whereas when my pipeline is full, when my business is doing well, when I've got people that I can communicate with and talk to be able to generate leads, it becomes a lot easier to actually then bring people towards you. It's amazing. It's like when you've got a girlfriend or boyfriend, depending on if you're male or female watching this, right? Like when you're in a relationship, people slide into the DMs all the time. But when you're single, like you're out there swiping through Tinder, like frantically trying to find the date that you want to go on. And it becomes harder to do. But when you're in a relationship, people come towards you. Same thing with pipeline, right? When you have a full pipeline, you'll notice more and more business keeps coming your way. And you're like, shit, I don't actually know how to deal with any of this. So what you've got to do is actually be able to break this down and get yourself into that position, or at least give the perception that you're in this position to be able to attract people towards you. Like, not many people will tell you this online, but I've been looking into a lot of the success stories of big businesses recently. I won't name them, it's not particularly fair to, but they have been able to build their brand, some really, really household names right now, off the back of other people saying how good their product and service is. So this is very well known as influencer marketing now. Before, it was known as referral marketing. It's also now affiliate marketing in the way that you can do it. There's loads of ways to be able to grow a brand quickly. But the thing that you've got to be able to do, one, goes back to clarity and actually identify and know who it is that you're trying to attract towards you. So what industries are they in? What's the demographic? Like, what experience level are they? What attributes and ambitions do they have? Like, what are they looking to achieve? And then where are they based? Are they based in your country, your city, your town, your village, whatever? Break that down. When you break that down, you can start to think about whereabouts are these people hanging out? Like, what Facebook groups are they in? What networking events are they attending? Like, where is it that they're spending their time? How can you identify that? Because when you do, when you break that down, guess what? We can start to build a strategy, the first element of marketing strategy, and start to position ourselves in these places to be able to get people to know who we are. Because if you really think about it simply, like brand building, attracting people towards you, getting people to know who you are and what your business does, all comes down to how much visibility you have online, how much credibility you have online, and those two added together will give you the opportunity that you're looking for. So the first step in connecting with people and attracting people towards you is, one, knowing who you're looking to attract, two, where they are then hanging out, and three, how you can then start to position yourself in these environments to start meeting people. So when I looked at this back in my property business and then in my marketing agency and the content agency that we're now building, I had to identify who I was looking to target. So for Gramication right now, the content agency that I run, we are looking around the Northamptonshire area, the Midlands area in the UK. So it branches out. We have different levels of this, different companies that need copy doing for them, content creating for them. Now, we have set packages of what we deliver. We're really, really clear on that. So again, you need to get clear on your business of what service you provide, right? You need to get clear on that. But when you can identify who it is that you're targeting, I know that with these certain businesses that we're looking to target, to be able to have the most efficient marketing strategy, like, I need to find out what networking events these people are hanging out in, like what conferences are they hanging out in, because the managing directors, the marketing directors that we're looking to target right now are most likely, or it's going to be very difficult anyway, to find them scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Facebook, hanging out in Facebook groups. The companies that we're looking to target are doing 10, 30, 50, 100 million pounds a year. So it's going to be difficult to get in their feeds when they're scrolling through. So what I need to do is find a way of gaining that attention in a different way. And the best way to do that, and again, if you think about it, word of mouth marketing is probably the best source of business that you can get, is to find people that know my ideal client and find a way to get introductions for one. So provide value to the person that can provide the introduction. How can I do that? And then also on this side, it's like, well, where are these people hanging out? Like, what events are these people attending? How can I get there? How can I get the attention? How can I position myself as someone that these people need to know? This has been my main focus for the last year, scaling Gramication. Now, put yourself into my position, or put yourself in your position, should I say. Like, what is it that you're providing? What's the service? What's the product? Who's your ideal client? And then where are they spending their time? Is it a business to business play and they're on LinkedIn? Is it a business to consumer play and they're on Facebook and Instagram? What events are both of these people attending? Are they online? Are they offline? And start drawing out and listing out all these places so you can then start to understand where you need to dedicate your attention to be able to grow, to be able to build those relationships. It's so, so key, but it's so, so simple in the same way and requires zero spend. This is just time, right? A very valuable thing in our lives, but it's possible to do without having to spend any money. And then when it comes to creating the content for it, I'm probably going to do another video on content in general because there's so much to it. Like I've got inside the academy, like right now, probably around 30 hours of training just on content, right? So I can't do it in this one YouTube video or podcast episode, wherever you're consuming this. But what I can do is talk to you about the core fundamentals and the key simple things that you need to do right now with your content. I've already mentioned one, and that's actually find out what your consumers are looking for. Like, what information do they need? How are they looking to be entertained or educated? How can you gain the attention? Because that is probably the hardest thing to get right now, especially on social media, where there is more content than ever before. So we need to think of ways in which we can stand out from a very, very overcrowded environment. Now, I've been working with a lady called Jo Britton for around about 9 months now. She listens to my podcast. She's hopefully watching this video as well. But she's recently released a LinkedIn video. It was on Instagram as well. But she actually has given probably the best demonstration of this for probably the last 3 months of people that I've been working with. She's actually probably had the best result on this. And I want to caveat something here. This wasn't something where she took the formula of what we teach, a click of the finger, and it went viral, right? This took 9 months of consistently creating to her target market for one post to go mental, and now it's gained so much traction. She's done something which has really stood out, and I want you to go check her profile out to see it. I guarantee you'll be able to tell me what video it is straight away that's the one that's done well. But what she's been able to do is apply the strategy of having a seriously attentive hook and a headline, a real scroll-stopping visual, which gains people's attention straight away. The hardest thing is getting people to stop scrolling and getting that 3 to 5 seconds. She's then provided the relatability content, so the educational stuff that she wanted to do, but also with the emotional connection to be able to draw people in. Different strategies to do this, which again, if you're subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, you'll see more and more content on this. But she's then had an amazing call to action, which has meant she's had over 120 new LinkedIn connections. She's had, I think, over 300 interactions on the post. She's had 200 comments come through. She's had 10 new webinar bookings. She's done really, really well off the back of this post, and it's only going to keep going further from now. And we've had numerous other examples on this, but when you can find the right content and when you can go through the research methods that I'm going to break down in another video for you, that's the point at which things start to really gain momentum. So connecting is about identifying who you want to connect with. Then it's about putting you in the position to be able to connect with them by finding out where they're spending their time. Then it becomes a real relentless action piece about getting out there and meeting as many of these people as possible, letting them know exactly what it is that you and your business does. Connection is step number 2. Step number 3 is charisma. So this is about the thing that makes you stand out. This is about finding your inner confidence, finding the message that you're 100% certain about. This is about finding a way to be able to bring out the most charismatic version of yourself, because that's the version that people are going to watch. I guarantee it, right? If I was slumped back, really talking quite like monotone, not changing much and not really having any movement whatsoever, maybe having like an awkward movement that just irritates people as we go through, you're not really going to interact with it. Whereas when my body language is up, when it's upright, when my hands are moving, when I'm talking at speed, when I slow down, when I want something to be a little bit more meaningful, when I look at the camera directly, when I change and move off center, these are all strategies of which you can use to be able to bring out the most energetic, the most inspiring, and the most entertaining version of you possible. Now, I'm not saying that you are going to be a person that's going to have millions and millions of followers. You're going to be this amazing entertainer that's going to draw people in, because that's not everybody. That's definitely not me. But what I've able to do is gain the certainty, have the structures in place that enable me to be able to talk on a video like this without really stopping, without having too many like ums and ahs as we go through, but making sure that I'm also delivering it with a sense of energy, which keeps you engaged if you're still watching this right now. Charisma is a set of skills of which you can learn. Yes, you have a little bit of an element which you're born with, but you can train to be able to bring this level of energy out of you. I've still not reached my capacity. I could go higher if I wanted to, and I probably should at times. However, I'm still reaching my ceiling, because guess what? We all have our structures, we all have our breaking points, and we all have our comfort zones. I'm still pushing myself out of mine. I've still not 100% got there. But with charisma, there's 3 specific steps that we use and we teach in detail, but I'm just going to quickly go over them for you now. So the first one is the way that you frame your information. So when we are delivering, to be able to focus less on what we're saying and actually focus more on how we're saying it, we need to have a framework and a structure to deliver. So you'll notice throughout this whole presentation, throughout this whole video, without this whole podcast, I've been taking you through 5 steps. Now, throughout those 5 steps, I'll give you a key hook and a key headline. I'll then give you the information. I'll tell you why it's important, with normally a story that links to it, but then a call to action and exercise that you need to do to be able to put this information into practice. That's a framework. That's a structure that we use to be able to deliver information in the most efficient way. Really, really key. The most important thing that I ever learned, especially when it comes to communication. So understanding your frame, understanding your message and what you want to deliver is 100% crucial to the way that you then create content and move forward when you're doing it, so you can make sure that you're delivering it to the best of your ability. Step number 2 is then the substance. So this is how you actually wrap the information up. So one thing is how you deliver it. That we're coming on to that in a second. But this middle step is about the substance. It's about the how and why someone should listen to this. It's the context. It's the reasons why it's so important to people. It's the stories. It's the way that we bring in relatability and emotion. There's no point me just reading these off and listing them out, like all these different bullet points and headings that I'm talking about here, because it wouldn't sink in. You'd be bored. You'd be off probably watching another video right now. But if I can wrap it up with experiences and stories of how I can showcase how important and how this is actually stuff that we do day to day, then you're actually going to start to get some benefit from it, because you can start to understand it in a more efficient way. Charisma is all about the frame in which you deliver, the substance behind the information that you're providing. And step number 3 is the delivery mechanisms that you're doing. So again, hand gestures, body language, eye contact, tone of voice, speed, tempo. I think I said that already. But those certain elements are really important. And you need to understand at which point you take a little bit of a breather, you slow down. I'm still learning this. I still speak way too quickly. You've probably realized that already. But again, those 3 elements are how we bring out the most charismatic version of ourselves. And again, if you're watching any of my content at the moment, I'm really making sure that this is evident and in practice, so I can showcase what works and what doesn't. So when you're looking at doing this, when you're going to create your next bit of content, to be able to get it to be the most charismatic version of you, use those 3 steps. So write them down on a piece of paper and actually work out, okay, well, what framework and what piece of information am I looking at giving here? Then look at the substance. Okay, so what story can I attach to that information, which is going to allow me to deliver it in a way that connects with other people? And then the 3rd step is the delivery. So when I'm delivering it, are there certain points at which I want to show more emotion, show more energy? And are there points where I want to slow down? I want to take it a little bit easier. I want to relax a bit and make it a little bit more off-centered in where I'm looking. Start thinking about this stuff, because the best creators in the world, the best people that gain attention, trust me, you go watch some of their YouTube videos, you'll see how evident this stuff is. Step number 4 is the way that we communicate. Oh, I cannot tell you, like, some of the stuff that I see in my LinkedIn inbox, my Instagram inbox, even like some of the comments that I receive on some content as well. Like for me, looking back at how I've been able to scale the businesses that I have, the property stuff, the brand building stuff, the Instagram stuff that I used to do, everything has come down to, especially the success that we've had. And this for me is business in general. It comes down to the relationships that you build and the value that you provide. That's it. The relationships that you build will help your message grow, will help your brand grow. But then on the other side of it is if you can't provide value, then what people say about you won't be positive, it will be negative. So it will have the opposite effect. But the relationships bit is the bit that I want to focus into. Like people just say such stupid shit online. Like, excuse my language, but they really do. Like I will receive 3 to 5, maybe even more than that, direct messages a day saying like, hey, your Instagram profile looks great. I can help it reach the next level. I'm running this new package, which is going to give you another 10,000 followers in 7 days. Would you like to give it a try? I'm like, no, I have no idea who you are. Why on earth would I want to do that? Hey, would you like to buy my products? My product's great. It does this, it does this, it does this, lists all the features and benefits. No. Like, you're just spam messaging everybody. Why on earth would I do business with you when I could find someone that I probably know that does this, who I have a relationship with, that actually knows me, knows what I'm about, and I want to actually help them rather than reacting to a cold sales message. Like the way that people communicate online, like if you did that in normal, everyday human to human life, like you'd be a laughing stock, wouldn't you? Like, could you imagine walking into some boardrooms of like some really high level directors, especially the ones that we target, just opening up your briefcase and going, there you go. You going to buy? Obviously not. Like, since when did business get like this? I really don't understand it, how it's suddenly come to this point of which we're always looking to just sell immediately. Right? The more and more that you can focus on making friends online rather than just making a sale, that's the point at which you'll start to see results. So dedicate some time every single day. I'm looking to build on 5 connections I've already made and make 5 new ones, if that makes sense. That compounding effect, yes, not everybody's going to respond. Yes, not everybody's going to like me. Yes, not everybody's going to provide me with an opportunity, but I don't care because they're most likely going to know somebody who does. So remember, when you're meeting new people, don't go out there just looking to sell that person because they may not need the product and service that you need. Have a conversation, look to provide value to them, look to add something in some way which gets you into their network as not just somebody they know, but potentially a friend, like a mate, someone that you want to do business with. And then when an opportunity arises that either they have the pain and the problem that you solve, or they know someone, they will either contact you directly, the inbound stuff that we're talking about, or they'll then tell the person that they're having a conversation with, you need to come and have a conversation with this person because they're great. I know them. I trust them. Communication online gets overcomplicated. So if you're not doing this right now, here is your task. Every single day, just send 5 to 10 voice notes to people that you either know, but you've not got that solid relationship with yet, or people that you don't know, but don't go in it thinking that you're going to generate business. Go in it thinking you're going to make friends and broaden your network up. How big do you think Steve Jobs' network was when he was growing Apple? How many people could he tap into? Elon Musk, how many people do you think know who he is, what he's about, that he can call on whenever he needs help? Think of all these huge businesses that are out there. And even if you don't want to build a massive empire, even if you're looking to build a small business, a lifestyle business, again, the network becomes really, really important. Your community, the people that you hang around with become really, really important. So communicate like a human, not a robot. I'm going to probably create a quote card on that one at some point. Okay, so to finish off, step number 5. All of the stuff that I've spoken to you about here, so clarity, connections, charisma, communication, You could do this every single day for the next month and most likely see very little benefit of doing so. Because it's never been an overnight success for anybody, I don't believe. Everybody looks like it is or makes it seem like it is, but it isn't. It takes hard work, it takes graft. And being able to do a marketing strategy with zero ad spend and generate results from it, so starting from scratch, you need to become a serial networker. You need to be out there telling as many people what it is that you do, providing as much value that you possibly can to be able to attract more and more people towards you. That's the aim of the game. I spend thousands of pounds every single year just to meet new people, whether it's networking events, whether it is conferences, whether it is going into business forums, whether it is going into online courses and hanging out in communities. I dedicate so much time and so much money right now to be able to do that. But when I didn't have any, I just dedicated myself to go out there and network like there was no tomorrow. Get clear on what it is that you want to do. Find out who it is that you're trying to connect with and who can help you and who you can help in the same way. When you're creating, when you're speaking to people, showcase the passionate version of you, because that's the person that people buy into. Communicate like a human, not a robot, but most importantly, remain consistent. The points at which I have seen failure is where I have neglected that one specific attribute, where I've become lazy and given up. If you can find a way to maintain a set of daily habits which will keep ticking off these certain areas, I will literally guarantee you that you will find business success in whatever way that you define it. Because relationships are how we do business these days. It always has been. So never neglect it. Get out there. Start speaking to people, understand all the different aspects of your business, but the real simplicity, simple elements of it are to have a product and service that provides value, connect with as many people as you can to build the brand up, provide the service and product to a very, very high standard, communicate like a human being, and actually start delivering results for people. I'm going to be breaking down so much more content like this. I'm really, really pleased with how the last couple of videos have gone. So thank you for watching. And if you're still watching now or listening now, I really, really appreciate all the support that you show. If you do have any questions at all, I'm going to be doing some live Q&A type things, and check the comment section, drop your questions below. Or if you want to join our Facebook community, the Authority and Brand Building community, that it's on Facebook, I'll link it in the description for you. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. I don't bite. I answer every direct message that comes my way. Have an amazing day, evening, whenever you're watching this. I will see you all in the next episode. Peace.